Yo, what is up YouTube? Lee the Captain here, back again with another YouTube video on nothing other than QNT. And in today's YouTube video, I'm going to be talking about why I finally am buying QNT. I am now extremely bullish on QNT. I have seen the light, and let me explain why. And the first reason why I am buying QNT is because of the Quant Network. I think the Quant Network is absolutely fantastic and just so revolutionary, and let me explain why. The Quant Network is made up of the Overledger OS and the Overledger Network, and the Overledger OS is not a blockchain. It sits on top of multiple blockchains, and it allows individuals and institutions to build multi-chain applications. And people must be wondering right now, what is a multi-chain application? A multi-chain application is an application that is built on top of multiple blockchains instead of just one. And this is absolutely amazing in my opinion, because let's say an institution wants to build an app on a blockchain. That blockchain may not suit their needs 5 to 7 years down the line. And on top of that, that blockchain may also have some weaknesses that they're not very happy with. However, with the Overledger OS, institutions can build an app that takes advantage of the strengths of multiple blockchains and essentially combine it to one app. And the Overledger OS is very beneficial for institutions and individuals. If you take a look at the benefits of the Overledger OS, first of all, the Overledger OS allows institutions and individuals to start using blockchain with just 3 lines of code. Just imagine that essentially it's plug and play. Also, they have choice, interoperability, flexibility, and not being locked in. They also avoid buying additional infrastructure, being able to comply to security and regulation, and on top of that, they are able to use existing technical skills and resources. This can all be started in less than 8 minutes. Just imagine that, again, like I mentioned before, essentially a plug and play deal. When institutions want to adopt new technology, they don't want something that's hard, something that's overly complicated, something that they have to change the whole way they do their business. They don't want any of that. They want essentially something that's plug and play, which Overledger OS provides for them. And I truly do believe that the future of cryptos will be institutional adoption. Institutions have the most capital, they have the most resources, and they are able to facilitate growth at a much larger scale. And in my opinion, once there is large scale institutional adoption, I think the whole crypto space overall is going to reach heights we have never ever before seen. And in my opinion, Quant knows where the future is heading. They know where all the potential is at. They understand the power of institutions, and they understand the growth that institutions can provide for them. Quant, in my opinion, is the real deal. Now that you've all heard about the Overledger OS, I now want to talk about the Overledger Network. And the Overledger Network is made up of the Overledger OS users. And the Overledger Network also has its own marketplace. So for example, users of the Overledger OS can share their apps and monetize it. The second reason why I bought QNT is because of the QNT token use case. And if you take a look at this diagram, the QNT token has a lot of use cases. Coming in at number 1, enterprise licenses. QNT tokens must be provided to Quant Network in exchange for an annual license. Number 2, developer licenses. Developers will be able to obtain an annual license to develop applications on Overledger through the purchase of QNT tokens equivalent to a fixed fiat amount. Number 3, platform fees. In addition to the license fee, a platform fee calculated as a percentage of the license fee in QNT will be payable by all users and developers. Coming in at number 4, identity and account. A minimum QNT amount is put in place for every participant of the Overledger ecosystem. Number 5, transaction processing. QNT tokens are used to validate, sign, and encrypt every transaction that flows through Overledger. Number 6, application users. Users will need to hold QNT tokens to be able to run multiple chain applications, aka maps. The license key will expire annually and must be renewed with more QNT tokens. Users will need to deposit an amount of QNT that will be used to pay fees to gateways for processing. Users also deposit QNT tokens to cover the cost of any penalties for raising incorrect disputes. Last but not least, number 7, gateways and staking. To run a gateway, there is an annual fee fixed in fiat to be paid in QNT tokens. Gateways earn QNT for transaction processing. Additional QNT tokens can be staked to increase the capacity of the gateway. The more the gateway operator stakes in the variable deposit, the more requests they can accept, resulting in more QNT earned. The QNT token token not only has a lot of use cases, it also has less of a supply than Bitcoin. Just imagine that. Can you just imagine the QNT token having this many use cases and still having a supply that is less than that of Bitcoin's? A lot of people like to say, oh, buy as much Bitcoin as possible. It's so scarce. But in reality, QNT is actually more scarce and actually has more use cases than Bitcoin. If I had a choice between buying Bitcoin and QNT, hands down, I am buying QNT without a doubt. And this makes QNT an absolute no-brainer pick in my opinion. This is why I've been buying QNT as of late. Again, like I mentioned before, I have finally seen the light. I now understand what this is all about, and this is just absolutely fantastic. And now hopefully everyone now knows why I am buying QNT, because for the longest time, I didn't want to buy any QNT. I was choosing to ignore QNT, and in fact, a lot of people were commenting on my videos saying, hey, buy QNT, but I just never really got into QNT. However, as of late, I recently took a deep dive into QNT, into the Quant Network, into Overledger OS, and I was like, wow, oh my goodness, I can't believe I was ignoring this whole time. And some people must be saying right now, oh, you're buying QNT at $177. Oh, you could have bought it back in June, $46. And I get all of that. However, when it comes to my investment strategy, when it comes to all my crypto holdings, it is to always dollar cost average. I buy no matter what, essentially speaking. I just buy a set amount on a set schedule. And once I get into a crypto, once I actually want to invest in a cryptocurrency, I don't care about the short-term price movements. I don't care about the day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month price movements. When I invest in a cryptocurrency, I am taking a long-term approach when it comes to it. And I understand now that the future of QNT is amazing. It's fantastic. So when people say, oh, you're buying at $177, that doesn't matter to me, because I think in the future, the price of QNT will be so high that $177 is really going to look quite comical in my opinion. However, before I continue on any further, I first want to mention how what I am about to say is not financial advice by any means necessary. And it is not an invitation to buy, sell, or trade. And also how there is absolutely no guarantee at all that it will happen. In fact, I personally believe that the price of QNT could potentially reach a market cap of $500 billion, which by the way, would put QNT at a price of around $37,000. And it would be around a 201x from this exact point. I'm not saying the next bull run, but I'm saying potentially in the future. Now, some people must think I'm crazy for saying that. However, if I consider how revolutionary the Overledger OS is, how amazing the Quant Network is, I think $500 billion market cap is not out of the realm of possibility. Long story short, I'm very bullish on QNT. And keep in mind, I'm just getting started when it comes to Quant. There are more Quant videos to come in the future, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Make sure to smash that like button, click subscribe, so you don't miss out on the latest and greatest Quant news and content. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.